which means we can make a Hoverpack. Oh, not enough space in inventory, of course. Oops. Let's put some computers in there, and the oscillators that we picked up, and the quick wire that we picked up. Hoverpack. Then we need to pick up more coal so we can make more gas filters, because we've got a lot more fabric now. Oh, we're going to end up with an odd number, though. Alright, so how does this Hoverpack go, then? That's this one. I've got to remember which is which. Okay, so it's fully charged for now. Oh, then we just press space again, and now we're just hovering. And we can do that so long as we're near power lines. Has it got to be power lines or a power pole? It's got to be near a power pole, looks like, specifically. Love that. Wait, you don't have any fuel coming in yet? Why not? Heavy oil residue. Do I have to just completely remake you? That's annoying. I should not have to completely remake you. I flushed you. That should be enough. Unless it has to be one of the industrial ones. That's annoying. There we go, now it's fuel. Okay, yeah, so I just have to deconstruct, reconstruct. The whole flush mechanism, just don't bother. That's the lesson I've learnt here. Don't bother with the flush mechanism. It's not worth the hassle. Not going to actually work. You should start filling up soon, hopefully. Right, so we have so many extra things to put on our back now. That's a bit of a problem. So we've got a jetpack as well, and I've not actually tried the jetpack. Alright, well. This is kind of cool. And then, yeah, so long as you're close enough to a power line. And the battery lasts long enough that you can get between the full stretch of a power line, it seems. Okay, and now does it power off these lines as well? Thankfully, I've strung up power lines just like everywhere. And how close do I have to be? Oh, that was actually close enough. And now we're in out. And now we want to put a parachute back on before we fall to our demise accidentally. We could string power from over there. I don't think it'll reach. It just goes through the bottom. That's kind of funny. We can actually have it sitting on this otherwise as well. Or we can just have it going up like there first. That's probably better. To do like that. Do like a relay sort of thing. But otherwise I think this is actually a decent intersection point. And these will just not quite match up. Entrance, entrance. It'll like throw me off, probably, so if I do want to connect up, it'll be annoying, because it'll actually throw me off, and then I'll have to glide back on somehow. So maybe this isn't so good. Actually, I think this way it'll probably still throw me into that one, but this one will throw me off that way, I suspect. Dunno. Or maybe not, because it's so slow coming up. I could even put like a railing or something over there. We could have the whole thing on a foundation block, like put 2x2 foundation or something down. That would probably be responsible. Do we want to run copper? I don't think we do. I think we'll just leave that like that for now. We should actually have power lines like strung down here so we could zip line up as well. Let me select you. Come on. There we go. I haven't actually made all that many yet. Doesn't make a huge number at a time. So if we've got a stack available, maybe we can pick up enough of the petroleum stuff now? I just want enough to do some research. So we want 100 petroleum byproduct, and we want, I think, 50 packaged fuel. Oh, okay, we've got that. And we've got that. Okay, so we've actually got all that we need. But we're also carrying too much stuff. You know what? Heavy modular frame. Some of that can go into there. And now we can pick up a stack of that. I think I only need half a stack of that though. So let's actually do that, do that, do that. Same with the fuel. I only need 50. So let's just do that. We'll just leave those there for now. We can shut that all down and turn it back into rubber now if we really want to. I should put a hypertube entrance across here. Pipe is too long. Oh, okay. That's annoying. We kind of want to go in the middle, really. Where's the nearest power pole? Okay, so an exit doesn't need to be an entrance. That's interesting. Wait, is it going to let me in even though it's... No, because it's not an entrance. Yeah. Alright. Excessive, but so what? Since when does that stop me? There we go. This is just a tiny little base I set up ages ago, and, well, it's got a workshop and stuff. I thought it had a MAM. I think it did, and then I deconstructed it. So, let's reconstruct that real quick, because that's what I actually came over here for. Which way around should I go? I should go this way. There we go. Cool. Hard drive. Scan complete. Silicon high-speed connector. Ooh, that could be nice. Because what does the high-speed connector normally needs? Usually needs 60... No, usually needs 56, 10, and 1, and that's what I can make myself. Or we could have it do 60, 25, and 2. Not that useful, to be honest. Aluminium beam. Aluminium ingot turns into steel beam. That's kind of unnecessary. We're just going to rescan through. And of course now we get rubbish. It's a gamble, isn't it? Scanning through. Whatever, we'll take that one. Now what we actually want this for though is we can now finish off this synthetic polyester fabric. What was I saying? That was the bit that I hadn't researched yet. Making fabric out of plastic. Makes perfect sense.
Research completed. Polyester fabric recipe unlocked. Using polyethylene terephthalate, production of a lightweight and strong fabric can be automated. It has many of the properties of naturally sourced fabric, and also amplifies body odor.
Amplifies, yeah. No kidding. This is why I only wear cotton clothes. Okay, radio signal scanning, we need the 100 oscillators and 100 motors for that. Okay. What was the other thing I was looking at? Sulfur, that's right. So this... Oh, we need 15... Oh, we need 15 compacted coal specifically for that, right? Yeah, okay. Which I was going to look at. Sulfur is the next thing that I need to investigate. Okay. Well, I only need one hard drive for that. Though what's the betting one of these needs an extra hard drive too? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll scan one for now. Alright, let's head back across here. So that means that... Thunk, straight into a conveyor belt. So that means we can now harness Oh, our packager is now full, which means our fuel is going to be backing up. Yep, okay. But we can also just stop all of that now, really. I kind of don't care about that anymore. Because we'll have a decent chunk of resin going out as well. Maybe we leave this just paused, though? In fact, maybe we just let it back up. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, you know what? That's just fine. And then when I remember to, I can come over and I can grab some containers. And I can stick the containers over there. Not many at the moment, but I can stick some containers over here. Package some more fuel up. Alleviate the backlog. That's fine. And then we've just got a bunch of packaged fuel here. I want to actually keep 50 on me and just take it back to base, because that's where I'll do my research probably. That's fine. Let's take this plastic and aluminium back to base though. Let's see how well we do this. Because we can now put that towards our milestone. And in fact, we should be able to finish that, get control system development, and that is what we need for our next major part. So we've still got the slow bit up here. We really want the boost actually to be back down there instead. Oh, that's actually perfect though, because it just drops us off here, and then we can just jump into this if we're continuing onwards. And we immediately get the acceleration, and we're going down. So that's actually pretty nice. Going the other way, I'm not sure if we'll actually stop, or if it'll just send us zooming into the other one. I thought that might happen. We now go screaming off the edge there, and there's not much we can do about that. Ah. I mean, we could put a wall in. What we really need, actually, is one of these. A landing pad. We need biomass for that. Yeah. I also want to experiment with railways. That is definitely something that I would like to do. I haven't really found the right thing to experiment with that yet, though. I could have done the silica down to the aluminium, but that didn't feel that useful. I could also do the aluminium. I can do the aluminium components. Whoa, we go fast. Okay. Whoa. Okay, we go so fast there now. Alright, we gotta be careful putting too many of those entrances in. Fun. Okay, and then now I need 200 computers. I'm bound to have enough of those somewhere. Alright, let's put our plastic down here. Oh, you'd almost run out. That's actually quite perfect. What's... oh, computers are backed up, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. You know what, let's double this back as well, actually. Let's do that, so it can just flow up to the top. So that lets us finish this off now. Nice.
Milestone reached. Several parts more efficient and powerful than the human brain can now be made, to compensate for many deficiencies otherwise encountered in future development efforts. The blender enables you to mix and/or combine parts and fluids for more complex recipes. Most importantly, project part number 6, the assembly director system, should be produced and delivered to the space elevator as soon as possible.
I mean, you say that, but I need to have all of them before it can make any difference, right? I can't deliver it until I have all of the pieces. So how do I even make the... Wait, it's not even on here. What do you use? Surely not a blender. Okay, we actually need to check the codex. Equipment, no parts. Where are you? Assembly director system. Where are you made? Oh, you're only made it in an assembler. Okay. Ah, but you use these adaptive control units again. Okay. Now, we had these being produced in this manufactory previously. And we need supercomputers. Okay. Oh, we actually need high-speed connectors and AI limiters specifically for that now. Interesting. Alright, well, I guess we'll have to get started. Interesting that these are only made in a assembler. Huh. That's kind of handy, because that means it doesn't take as much to Somas loop it, which I'm going to do with every single one of these parts. That's for sure. So, first things first, we previously had the adaptive automated wiring. We probably had this set up feeding into one of these containers. Used stators and cables. It was made by this. It's still set up, in fact, to be made by this still. Alright, but we were feeding it in manually, I think. There's a container. Yeah, we were feeding stuff in via container because we were only making exactly what we needed, I think. So we're putting the stators in manually and then feeding in the cable as we needed it. Okay. We currently have these in here because we were making crystal oscillators, but let's stop that now. So if this is set up for these, we're not taking cable anymore. We'll worry about getting all of the automated wiring first, I think. So, let's do some maths quickly. We'll worry about making these first. And it's a 2 to 1, which means we need 1,000, but if we're Somas looping them, then that means we only need 500. 5 500s is 2,500. So we need 1,250 of these, if they're Somas looped. Wait. I need to think about how it's working in terms of all the doubling that I'm going to be doing. So, because it needs 2,500... Let's pull it up again. 500 of these would require double, but it's actually only 500 because we're going to double that. So, 500 means we need 2,500 of the adaptive wiring. But because we're going to double that, we only need the resources to make 1,250 of those. Okay, so the 1,250 is including that. Right, so 1,250, it's 1 to 1, so it's 1,250 stators as well. Okay. We should put a second container off here if we can. That's not going to be able to go down, is it? And it probably will be too close. If we try and do this, that's not going to want to connect, is it? Which is so stupid. Like, there is nothing wrong at all with that conveyor belt shape. So annoying. Okay, well, you're all empty anyway, so we can actually deconstruct all of you. And just put it back a bit further. Can we actually fit 2 containers down here? Probably can, actually. I'm thinking of it. Just a power line there, that's fine. It reckons it's going to clip with the constructor that's here. What are you even doing? You're the old steel beam constructor. I don't even use you at the moment. You are not useful. You are just a steel beam repository. Yeah, we're actually going to deconstruct all of that. And now I've just got random steel beams on us, which isn't great, but... Well, let's just do that anyway. It doesn't matter if the power line's coming out the top of it. Okay. So we need 1,250 stators. It's weird I can't make compacted coal myself. I thought I'd be able to. But apparently I'm not allowed to. Oh, hard drive complete. Cool. Copper rotor, copper sheets, and screws, or basic iron ingot. Neither of them are that useful. You know what? Neither are these. But whatever. 3 quick wire and 2 rubber to make tons more cable. I mean, that could be useful. Out of either of them, that's probably the most potentially useful. Because this needed the compacted coal, but for some reason I can't make that myself. It can only be made in an assembler. Just a bit rude. And I was originally thinking of doing that with a lot of my coal to go to my coal power plants instead of the just standard coal, and just completely undo my steel foundry production up at my initial lake area, which I think I still want to dedicate a bit of time to doing at some point. But I'm going to need to tap into sulfur for other things, so I might not actually have that excess that I thought that I would have from that. I do have some spare sulfur at the moment though, and I can go and get some spare coal. I should get my parts making first though. So, 1250 stators. I'm not going to have enough, that's for damn sure. Let's start with 250. And then work from there. So we'll do it in 250 lots. So this is lot number 5. And that is to go into here. Yep. So put those in there. Put those in there. Okay. And then we also need to have this at least Mark 2 for the cable. So we don't actually have to think about the amount of cable going in necessarily. We're going to need tons. So the easiest thing to do is to just put in an entire container load full. More or less. And not worry about it. Okay, so you are Soma slooping away. Making automated wiring, which is going to go into here. And you're going to back up. We're just going to get rid of that. Yeah, it did only make 1 to start with. That's annoying. Before it started Soma slooping, the first one was not doubled. That's annoying. I would have had to deconstruct it and reconstruct it, I think, for that to be any different. Yeah, never mind. You are currently idle, but you have done good work in making lots of these, so I'm not too worried about that. That said, there's a backlog in here, so let's put those over here, if that's the thing that it needs. Looks like it is. Put those in there. Now let's grab some coal to make A, filters, and B, compacted coal. So we'll need a hijack and assembler for some compacted coal. Do I have any idle assemblers around here? That's a constructor. I think all of my assemblers are actually busy at the moment for a change. I had a few constructors around. I can just put one down here, why not? So, assembler, round you go. Just go there. You're not going to actually connect to anything. Fire you up. You are going to make... Where is it? Compacted coal. Oh, it's considered an alternate. Even though it was a research thing, it's not really an alternate per se, but that's what it's considered. Okay, that's interesting. Well, let's just pop in all of those. Oh, Soma Super 2, why not? Too late to get it going on the first one, but... If in doubt, double it, right? Why not? And now go super fast. Now I'll still have 2 sulfur left over. I can make some black powder and a couple more bombs. Which I don't think I can make here. But maybe. Oh, and my pod is back. Perfect. Which means I can now choose the next thing that I require. Yes, this is, yeah, scannable resource. I need sulfuric acid to make batteries and such. Which means that that then opens up drones. So let's work on that next. That's exciting. We can fill out some of the components of that right now. So it doesn't actually need that many of these sorts of things. So let's just chuck in all of those. And 300 motors that we are building down here. And it's full. 6 of those. How many do I have in storage, actually? Because I do use those for some things. Let's grab an extra stack out and put a stack in our dimensional depot. See, we do use that. Bump. So now the only thing that I need is the radio control units, which require crystal oscillators and computers. Okay, interesting. So, well, we do have a bunch of crystal oscillators handy. Maybe that's what I can repurpose this for in the meantime. While this is building those, this could always be doing something else. We will be wanting to Somas loop it again, though. I don't have any excess at the moment. I don't even know where they are at the moment. I know there's 2 in there. And there's 4 in that one. Where are the others? Because I had this other Somas loops at one point in the motor production, but I took it out of there. This is no longer doubled. In fact, it's halved. So, I mean, we've got the 2 here, which, I mean, we'll take that out now. Make some black powder. Why not? Put the coal and sulfur back in. Just make some black powder. Cool. And then make nobelisks with the black powder and that. Why not? We'll just get double everything while I'm doing this. Why not? So now I have some compacted coal that I can use for the research. That's good. Good, that's done. Anything else I want to double up while I'm here? Let's just deconstruct this entirely to get everything back. Okay, and then we have the 2 here. Oh, so I guess that's the... Yeah, that's the 4 and 4, isn't it? We need to collect some more. We need to go hunting for more Somas loops, I think. Because I definitely want this to keep being doubled. I guess I could stop that being doubled in the meantime. If we're wanting to double something else. Just to get the most bang for my buck. I'm also going to need to do supercomputers at some point. But we can always do these for now. These are still churning away nicely. But I can always just take these out for now. Like, these are all things that I have being produced fairly readily, so I don't need to double the output. It's done its job by getting me a lot of those early on. 69 oscillators. Nice. How many do we need? It's only 1. Okay. How many do we need of these? At first we need 50 just for the aeronautical engineering, but we're going to need more. So we may as well just make the maximum, right? We have some oscillators in here as well. We have 73. We use 25 per radar tower, but I guess we can always just move around radar towers too. Like, we don't need that many all at once. So let's just put all of those... Oh, but no, we need 100 of those for research as well, that's right. So you can make 42 of these for now. You need aluminium casings and computers. Which I think I have some in here, come to think of it. May as well take those out. And computers, may as well take those out as well. So 42, 2 computers. Oh, let's chuck the Somas loop back in. There we go. 2 computers. So 42 times 2, we need 82 computers. 84 computers. And a bunch of aluminium casing. I can't bother doing all of the maths. Let's just take out another stack. And put them in here. Container number 3, have some casings. So they can all go in here. And they will make an amount of radio control units. At least get the 50 that we need in order to research drones. And then we'll see how many we need to make some drones. And then they can hopefully start being used to ferry our, like, plastics and stuff like that over from our other base. And aluminiums and things as well. That would be really nice. I hope it's going to be just that easy. First things first, we want this. We need 100 engines for some reasons. Okay, 100 motors. Finally, we're actually working into our backlog of motors. That's kind of funny. And that allows us to scan for hard drives.
Object scanner magnetic sensitivity increased. It can now detect the signal of any hard drives at crash sites in your region.
We could probably completely clear this off as well if we wanted to, fairly quickly. We just need to make a bunch more nobelisks, a bunch of rebar. But first, we can now research our turbo fuel. I don't know how we make turbo fuel, but...
Turbo fuel unlocked. This upgrade to regular fuel is optimal for fuel-powered generators, jetpacks, and fulfilling long-distance trucker fantasies.
Fair. I guess that sort of thing is probably what I'm going to need to put into drones as well. Rocket fuel. Again, needs more hard drives, empty fluid tanks, and packaged turbo fuel. So I've got to make turbo fuel first, and then ionized fuel requires packaged rocket fuel. Okay, and then we can have ionized fuel. Okay. I guess that's just the highest energy density is the point. 5,000 megajoules. Instead of 7,200? Wait. Oh, packaged ionized fuel. 10,000 instead of 7,200. Okay, so it's slightly better. Not exactly massively, but compared to, like, just packaged fuel, it's going to be much better. That's going to require a whole extra amount of stuff in fluid dynamics, which I don't really fancy. We need to automate the production of high-speed connectors and AI limiters at some point, which is probably going to need more Caterium than what we're currently dealing with. Currently we have it all coming in for circuit boards, and we do have an excess, because we're using 75 per minute. That said, we're producing a ton. 17.5 per minute circuit boards, we're only using 10. And, I mean, that's almost backing up. In fact, do we have a surplus of this? Yeah, we're backed up on that. We no longer need to overclock you. Which means you're not using as many plastic either. So it's only using 37.5 quick wire per minute, and we're making... I'm actually not sure, because it was 120 that we were mining, and we were dealing with that, but I can't remember what that results in terms of our quick wire production. Is it even a... It is a Mark II conveyor belt, and I feel I would only have done that if I felt that I needed it. So maybe it is producing at like 100 plus or something. Those are all things that I can make at the crafting bench, so I can at least see what they require. So high-speed connectors is otherwise made at a manufacturer. It would be nice if I had an alternate recipe for that. AI limiters is actually just an assembler thing, okay, and that just uses quick wire and copper sheets. Interesting, we could start using that right now, in fact. Because we have a copper sheet thing coming across here, because previously that was used in this assembler for circuit boards. We can reroute that over here instead. That's kind of ironic. That we're now using the thing that Quickwire replaced with Quickwire. That is kind of funny. Okay, so you can come down here somewhere. How is this going to work? So, one, we should see how much it needs of either of them. So, what do we got here? AI limiter. Needs, 100 per minute Quickwire. Okay, well, so maybe we underclock that, to be fair. target just 3 per minute. Because we're not actively using it yet, so we kind of don't care. What's going to be the cleanest way to get this in there? Probably nothing. I don't think anything's going to be clean about this. But we need a splitter somewhere along here. Turns too sharply. Yeah, okay, we're going to have to reroute this entirely, I think. Maybe if we just tack it on the end there. And then have that going like there. And then go there. Can this go to either of these though? No, it cannot, because we're actually too high up. Oh, I didn't realize it was doing that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's deconstruct you then, and I think we'll have it coming out this side, or going in this side. But we do like... Let's move this as far across here as we can. So we do that. And then, honestly, we can then just do a lifter, right? Do that. And then we can do this and this. There we go. And then we needed 13 per minute copper sheet, so that's only a tier 1 lifter. We have that go up even higher. We go over there, and then we're going to be crossing our streams a fair bit. This is going to be a lot of spaghetti. Because we have got this one here joining up there, while this one here comes in here. I don't know why I made that tier 2, because I feel that this is only a tier 1 lifter, probably. I guess I had it overclocked, so it was using 75, so this will be a tier 2 actually, yeah. Okay. So we'll support the ability to overclock it again if we need to. But otherwise, you need power. I just realized I should have my hover thing attached. There we go. Instead of leaping around all the time still, like a pleb. You're full. Okay. Where's the best way of getting power down here then? Probably putting a pole in line. And putting that over here. And then running another one over here, probably, because we're probably going to need more at some point in the future. The conveyor belt. It's in the way of the conveyor belt. That's annoying. Okay, let's just string it up directly. Why not? Whatever, it's going through other things, don't care. That gets the AI limiters at least being produced. Even if only in small quantities. That's fine for now. We can even soma sloop it for the time being, just for the fun of it. Because why not? Let's just stack those in there. Just get a bit of a boost going. Why not? There you go. Treat yourself. Alright, so we should be able to just fly over our base freely now. This is game-changing. This is great. We've still got a few of those being made. Have we made enough of these yet? Yes, we've got a full stack. Excellent. We also have some more coal on us that maybe... I love that we can interact with our workshop from up here as well. It's great. We're still going to run out of coal, actually. Interesting. And then we'll need some more of those as well, probably. But that's fine for now. Cool. Down we go. Aeronautical engineering, which we are doing while hovering. Ironic. Oh.